People who get in their cars, but then take ages to drive away. What are you doing in there? Replying to the "could you get ice cream" text my wife sent after I already checked out. Felt. It pays to get wifey a treat regardless of whether she asked for it or not. Everyone loves a treat. Then you can respond with "already got it" or "I got you this." Throw in an emoji and you're in the good books. You still got the wrong thing, but at least she knows you thought of her. Half my cart is treats. I have a black belt in husbanding, but sometimes you gotta say no just for the thrill. In the previous car I would cold start it with the radio off and let it run for a few minutes, so I could listen to what was going to break next. It rattled, buzzed, squeaked, etc. multiple places. That's why I keep the radio on and loud. I don't want to know what's going to go next. Let me enjoy denial. The little engine-shaped light just means it running. Pre-flight checks. Reactor online. Sensors online, weapons online. All systems nominal. Oh my, a wild MechWarrior reference. Always remember to back up your flows with checklists. It helps you get through your procedures faster without compromising on safety. Check your flaps, please people. Fuel pump. Knock on hood, unlock and enter vehicle, check parking brake, set if manual transmission, check select neutral, check adjust seat position, check adjust wheel position, check adjust driver mirror, passenger mirror set and adjust rear view mirror, passenger mirror set and controls accordingly, set controls accordingly, set ignition. 2. On observe electronic starting, listen for fuel pump priming, mute radio, temporarily listen for cat noises, under hood extract cats. From engine bay, if suspected, check fuel level, check for low tire pressure warning, indicator check tires, if indicator lit if there is a tire problem, set ignition to off and schedule, perform tire maintenance if required, foot on brake if manual transmission, fully depress and hold clutch for the next 3 checklist items, set ignition to start, release if engine starts or after 5 seconds if engine starts, or after 5 seconds if engine doesn't start, try 2 more times, then consult Qualm for troubleshooting. Check oil light is off. If oil light remains on, immediately turn ignition to off and schedule perform maintenance. If manual transmission, check engage neutral, then release clutch, check for check engine light or service, reminder light, schedule maintenance if so. Observe engine performance during fast idle, shut down engine if fast idle exceeds 3000 RPM or excessive knocking noises are heard for more than 3 seconds. Check a performance at events as desired, check radio volume, set radio frequency or mode, as desired set windows, as needed set check headlights, as needed engage seatbelt foot, on brake check for pedestrians, in the traveler path release parking brake engage, gear, and start driving brake engage gear, and start driving, see how to engage gear checklist for further details. That's the quick I need to get going version. The more thorough version includes a visual inspection and complete fluid checking before even entering the car. Edit. Gold. Thanks. We'll make more checklists or regular things if they prop up. Crying. Having an existential crisis in a Walmart parking lot. That's weird. I have mine at Sonic when they say they are out of Dr. Pepper or ice cream. Now I'm having a crisis because for a minute I thought you said Sonic had Dr. Pepper ice cream. I have a routine after work. When I finally make it to the parking lot and into my car, I grab the steering wheel at 10 and 2, and I take a deep breath. On the exhale, I close my eyes slowly and lower my head until it's resting on the top of the wheel between my hands. Then I take several more slow breaths and think 1 more down. I made it through. I only need to make it through 15,000 more days of this. Then I can die. On the last inhale, I steel myself for the rush hour drive home. Then I raise my head and open my eyes. I put the car into reverse, and now I look like everyone else. Picking out music, setting a Jeeps, reading a text, any number of things. You can also add in waiting for the kids to settle down and put their seatbelts on for a select not so few of us. People who honk because they feel entitled to your parking space. Straight to hell. Before I get in the car, I check texts, set Jeeps. Then when I sit in the car, I double check my playlist, connect to Bluetooth, make sure everything is set. This is the last time I touch my phone for a bit, so I want things to be settled. Exactly. I really don't want to have to interact with my phone while driving, unless it's really necessary. And because I don't want to pull over to the side of the road all the time, I make sure that everything is taken care of for the trip. I don't care whether someone else is waiting to get into my spot. I'm doing this to be a safe and responsible driver. Yep, like a responsible adult, doing all my texting or starting of apps while I can devote all my attention to that, so I'm not doing any of that while driving. People who get in the car, start driving, and then text, video call, watch sports, or use social media. What the fuck are you doing? I'm sitting there to waste time and piss people off who are wondering what I'm doing. Being alone with my demons. I just need a few minutes to myself before and after I reach my destination. Especially if it's after work or a social event. I'm peopled out. Let me be in isolation on my phone or with my thoughts for a hot minute. If I'm with my kid and it's been a rodeo, I might need a second to decompress. Like, look, I just wrestled her through a store and kept her on best behavior. Even though she's little and by nature she wants to bust around and yell, I got her safely across a parking lot. I heaved her into a car seat. I buckled her in. I got her settled. I got myself into my seat and I passed her back a snack. I got a breather sec before I can safely put my car in gear and drive lame-o. If Op is circling for a space, they can keep circling. I'm doing my best here. Patience, please. I have a neighbor who sits in his idling truck for hours on end. He comes home at like 10 and sits there until 2 or 3 sometimes. Another neighbor sits in his car and listens to music for multiple hours in the parking lot. The worst is when one of them uses Bluetooth for a phone call at night, because it sounds like the person on the other end is in my bedroom talking. I think a lot of people don't realize how loud they are being, whether it's musiphone or just idling. I have to turn the stereo on and off 16 times or the world will end. Demons. I thought Jesus was supposed to take the wheel. Sometimes I'm queuing up a bunch of songs, looking for a podcast, texting, social mediaing, having a snack or a drink or a smoke, anything that I want to do but can't while driving long. My husband sits for 5 minutes, looking for just the right song to play for his 3-minute drive to work. So I obviously have to ask, 3 minute drive to work. Why drive at all? I used to live a 5-minute drive from work down a 4th dual carriageway. Literally just hop onto it from my side road, round a roundabout at the end, pull into the car park at work. By the time I made it to crossing and stuff, it could easily be a 35-minute walk. I mean, walking is slow off. Going by bike is fast though. It takes me 1 hour to get to my workplace. 10-ish minutes by car and 15 minutes by bike. Have a commute that is under 1.5 miles. It's just wildly not pedestrian friendly to make the walk. I had a job once that was 1 mile away, so I decided that I could just walk it, get a little exercise, before sitting at a desk all day. It was fucking miserable and scary. Traffic whizzing by you, exhaust fumes sticking to you, constantly tripping over the uneven roadside. I felt like an asshole making that 2-minute drive, but the alternative was actively unpleasant. My walk is literally uphill both ways. How? Only thing I can think of is that you have to park at a lower elevation, walk up a hill, and down to a lower elevation again to your work. If that's the case, you should consider tunneling through the hill. Only other possibility I can think of is that you park, walk uphill to your work, and then while you're working, your car is airlifted by helicopter to a higher elevation than where your work is. America is extremely car-centric, it's insane. I lived there for a year, and once I walked to Walmart. Several people stopped and offered to drive me wherever I needed to go. People with kids, getting some me time. On the other extreme, I used to laugh when my son was care. Seat age and someone would be hovering to get my spot. Unloading a cart of groceries, returning the cart and getting a cart, and getting a kid into a car seat, and both of you settled is like a 15-minute procedure under ideal condition. And it's never ideal conditions. We live in an incredibly rural area of Kentucky. There are no sidewalks from here to there, and he does have to cross a major intersection leading to the interstate. Guess there's going to be an endless amount of reasons, but mine is I have chronic pulmonary obstruction disease, and when I'll have walked to my car, I'm totally out of breath, and I'll have to sit there for 5 or more minutes until I get my breath back and I'm able to drive away, in the process of applying for disabled parking permit. You're gonna have to put up with me until then. Sorry for any inconvenience. Decompressing. Enjoying my prime parking spot just a little longer. Waiting for my Bluetooth to connect. rolling down all the windows, waiting for the arc to be cold, rolling my windows back up, finding a song I want to base a playlist off of for this drive, making sure I have all my shit in my pockets, throw it in reverse. Enjoying the one fucking moment of peace and quiet in my entire day. Can you just let me have it? Annoying you, apparently. None of your goddamn business, and if you honk again, I'll stay for another 20 minutes. Try me. Parking spot, sure, but there are people who do this shit at a gas station. Like, drive behind the gas station and connect your phone there. Is that so hard? This right here is the only one I can actually understand being annoyed at. Gas pumps are not parking spots.